attending the wife's bull as he languors in the last stages of AIDS. Body covered in lesions, he begs for death. Kill me. And I say, not yet. And inject a syringe of luminescent green liquefied gas station dick pills into his IV drip and yell, "It's alive!" as the BBC rises.
No, that's not real.
Oh, it is absolutely real, Mackenzie. But where it comes from a specific account on Twitter. It's a real post by HowlingMutant.
Niggas be straight up itching they booty hole and wonder why they have pink eye, my nigga. Hashem sending you to Lampung Sarang Batak, nigga, and also your family going to Medan to work.
HowlingMutant, his most known name, comes from a lineage of other aliases he has given himself, starting with Depraved Mutant, Screaming Mutant, Hunted Mutant, Punished Mutant, remember that time? And now to Howling Mutant. The reason why for these different names, he got banned a lot during his time before the official date of June 29th, 2020. That was the same day comedian Carl Reiner died.
So apparently on June 29th, 2020, comedian Carl Reiner died. And on that same day, the current iteration of Howling Mutant was born.
And very freakishly, I am recording on the same day that Rob Reiner died, on December 15th, 2025, which is fucking crazy. There is no known picture of the man behind the account, though a lot of people like to sublimate his most famous avatar, Dennis Hopper, from the 1986 film River's Edge, as that actually being him, which, no, that isn't him. As much as we like to imagine it, it isn't him. But there is a voice behind the man.
You're just howling. You're howling. You're screaming.
Yeah, well,
screaming
and then I got banned, and I couldn't use screaming again. So I was like, well, what's like a synonym for screaming? And yeah, I kind of like the blues musician Howling Wolf. And I always thought that was like a cool name. I was like, I'll do that. Yeah. But I miss screaming. I think screaming was a better name.
The mutant part of his name comes from the Atari 7800 game Midnight Mutants, which is also his banner image. His current bio, Castle/Freak, is based off of the 1995 movie that goes by the same name. The only reason why this is relevant to him in particular is because the former CEO of Theranos, Elizabeth Holmes, inquired about it towards him directly, and him promptly fumbling the opportunity of a lifetime of piping a huge fraudster like her publicly. Though I do need people to know that the movie was released in 1995, and if my Chinese astrology is correct, this year was an enemy year for the movie, and was probably the reason why that happened. Anyways, his exact age is not known, but he is most likely to be in his mid to late 30s. He lives in New York City, and he is a blue-collar worker who works on boats.
Yo mama so nigger that she lampunged the wrong Sarang Batak Negari 5k.
First, I would want to read his most liked tweets, because there's a good chance you've seen them before. And then after that are going to be my personal favorites that I think would make you laugh.
Number 1.
Sophie Rain says Bonnie Blue is ruining OnlyFans for everyone. It's no longer about woman empowerment. Via TMZ. I hope one day she realizes the trauma she's causing herself and so many women. Everybody a sex worker until a real stone cold freak pulls up.
Number 2.
Sorry. No big dogs. I guess they just not fucking with me.
Number 3.
Hey LeBron, I know you're probably not gonna see this, but I'm such a big fan. Basketball. Never meet your idols.
Number 4.
One method to reduce drinks being spiked. Throwing the pill down the straw from across the bar like a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar hook shot.
Number 5.
My libertarian uncle and his oriental wife just showed up to Christmas dinner.
Number 6.
Love that. I'm obsessed. Oh my god.
Nice of you to say.
Yeah, and what drew you to this movie?
Rachel Zegler, you will always be loved by me. Do people find this charming? She looks like a cobra about to attack. It's psychotic.
Number 7.
Escort reveals so many husbands are bad in bed. How are their wives putting up with this? Ma'am, with all due respect, you're a prostitute. We aren't trying to please you.
Number 8.
How an unathletic white guy destroyed the NBA. This is the most retarded framing possible. Dude, have you met anyone that is 6'10"? Larry Bird was a genetic freak. Stop making it sound like he was a couch potato with a 5,000 IQ. The idea that Larry Bird sucked at basketball, but was just smarter than all the black guys he played against, is so hilariously racist. I can't believe people still go with it.
Number 9.
Hey bartender, you assume that I cannot drink a margarita, so you don't serve me a margarita? If I don't drink a margarita, your assumption becomes reality. And parents, you assume that I cannot live on my own, so you don't encourage me to live on my own, so I don't live on my own. Coach, you assume that I cannot hit harder, so you don't train me to hit harder, so I don't hit harder. And teacher, you assume that I cannot learn Shakespeare, so you don't teach me Shakespeare.
Old MacDonald had a farm.
So I don't learn Shakespeare. E-I-E-I-O. But hey, if all your assumptions become reality, then assume that I can drink a margarita. So you serve me a margarita, so I drink a margarita. Assume that I can live on my own, so I live on my own. Assume that I can hit harder, so I hit harder. Assume that I can learn Shakespeare, so what will these mortals be? I learn fucking Shakespeare. You assume I can swear, right? Assume that I can do that job, that I can go to parties, that I can have sex, that I can be on stage. Assume that I can, so maybe I will.
This is the best Down syndrome awareness video I've ever seen. Amazing. Don't post shit like this and yell at me when I fuck one of these things.
Number 10.
So you smoke it like a cigarette, or how do you smoke it? I won't start rolling around on the floor or anything, right?
There you go, that should be good. Oh. Did you get enough? If you got enough, you don't need it.
Oh shit.
How do you think the weed tastes? Does it like have a good flavor? Can you taste it?
It's pretty mellow. I was really worried that this was going to upset my lungs. Heart.
How are you guys feeling right now? Do you guys feel the effects of the marijuana?
Yeah, I definitely feel it.
Yeah, I definitely feel stoned.
Oh my god, this hits you fast. I actually feel real clear-headed. Damn. So how long does this feeling last? Am I going to feel like this all night long? It's kind of weird to look you in the eyes, actually. When you're going, okay, I'm high, you're high.
Have you smoked weed with your parents? No. And if you did this shit, you're trash.
Number 11.
Lord, it's so much going on in this church video.
Black people are always bragging about how joyous and free black church services are compared to stuffy white ones, and then you see footage of it, and it's like recess in a classroom for mentally retarded children.
I almost got fired at work today.
What'd you do?
Customer asked what my favorite holiday was, and I out of reflex said 9/11.
Amazing.
My boss wasn't happy.
A former slave named Gordon shows his whipping scars. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 1863. God, imagine how lazy he must have been. Getting a lap dance and coming on myself, then immediately folding the girl in half like shutting a laptop in disgust because that's what I'm used to. There's a sort of oddly effeminate liberal white guy on here who considers himself part of a kind of dumb black guy defense force, and boy oh boy, have they had an eventful couple of days. I think people shouldn't be murdered extrajudicially on trains. Isn't the new pineapple on pizza prompt you think it is? Oh hey, we were just talking about you. I merged my pickup artist routine with my non-stop hustle grind set, and I think I might have accidentally done a rape. I really wanted to vote Trump, but my wife's bull marched me down to the voting booth and waited outside and said I had to take a fucking picture. I'm sorry everyone. Nervously unsheathing my katana as a group of racially diverse thugs approached me in a darkened alley, only to have it go skittering across the damp asphalt while the cruel oriental laughter of the 18th century Chad samurai ghost that lives in its hilt echoes in my mind. At traumatic moments in my life, I reverted to Chuck Wendig Reddit speech. When the paramedics told me my father died, I exclaimed, "Holy shit balls!" When we found out a family friend was molesting my sister, I said, "Beep, boop, coffee levels dangerously low. Need coffee for this." This is how I stand at the gates of Agartha when I see a swarthy Italian trying to enter. A lot of people will say it's wrong to give a child sex-changing hormones. And listen, I don't know. I'm not some moral philosopher, but, and this is the crux of the issue, it makes them more fuckable troons in the long run. Not so cut and dry now, huh? Women actually respect it if you tell them you will never go down on them on the first date. They know better than anyone how fucked up shit is down there. You gotta stop obsessing on these gynecological topics, son. You're gonna be found in a trap house surrounded by hooker body parts yelling, "See? It's just meat! I dissected it and it's just meat!" While some SWAT police vomit and catches instant PTSD. Walking down the street and joining in an impromptu session of jump rope with two angelic black girls while they joyously chant, "Shine, white boy, shine!" until my gun slips out of my waistband, hits the ground, and discharges, blowing one of their heads clean off.
Men whose genes never should have been passed down use rape as a mating strategy to produce sexually unappealing offspring. Now that they cannot continue this strategy, they are mad that they are seeing a mass culling of these traits. But like, you shouldn't even exist, bro.
But we do exist. Thousands upon thousands of men descended from rapists. And we all want sex. And sooner or later we're going to stop asking nicely.
You realize that for normal people, consent is the part that makes sex good, right? If you derive pleasure from anything else, that's a mental disorder. I'm neurodivergent. I remember my friend told me he was molested by a family member and I said, "Man, that's awful. I'm so sorry." And he said, "Yeah, I was only 16. And it's like, 16? Bro. Isn't that kind of old? Are you sure you didn't just have gay sex with your uncle? This is a classic one. A black woman invented the telescope. You might disagree. You might even have some evidence to the contrary. But you have to ask yourself, is this really worth losing my job over? A black woman invented the telescope, jacking off, but purposefully doing it really badly and all fucked up and making kind of annoyed sighs so it feels like a woman is doing it. Getting killed by a black teen and a rabbi steps out of the shadows to taunt you like one of the Arkham City game over screens.
Arkham City has become your tomb, Wayne.
Seeing a black teen being shot down for nothing more than the crime of being a person of color and also grabbing an officer's gun and hearing a shriek from the nearby synagogue as the Talmudic sorcerer's orb shatters. They fucked up my circumcision, so now I scream whenever I get an erection, but I guess it was worth it for the absolutely no benefits. Getting a pet tarantula to turn on chicks but slowly falling under the spell of its 8-eyed gaze, being compelled to go out into the night and do gay stuff. When I first heard the term rape kit, I assumed it was a bag with a ski mask and a knife or duct tape or something, but apparently it's just a tool police use on women who regret the consensual sex they've had. Dolphin star Tyreek Hill says mansion is done as massive fire causes $2.3 million in damage. If only there were some warning system.
This right here is murder. They're destroying trans people's lives. Don't settle for this. Support and fight for the rights of our sisters, brothers, and siblings. Together we're strong. In the words of Ethel Cain, if you voted for Trump, I hope that peace never finds you. Instead, I hope clarity strikes you someday like a clap of lightning and you have to live the rest of your life with the knowledge and guilt of what you've done and who you are as a person.
The next time you vote, please, please take into consideration what an insane homosexual in a dress might think. Everybody a damn freak until you ask her to pretend you're hurt severely. This is too much. What the fuck is this tweet? What the fuck? Okay. Everybody a damn freak until you ask her to pretend you're her severely retarded adult son. And she's the dutiful, long-suffering mother who sadly jacks you off in your wheelchair while you scream incoherently. Then it's sending my brother to break up with you, Ty. What the fuck? So the guys from work said everyone was gonna show up in costume today, which was apparently a cruel joke at my expense since I'm the only one who did. Now I feel like an idiot because I'm stuck all day as slutty George Floyd, waiting online at the supermarket behind an elderly man and yelling, "Hey dopey, move it the fuck along," when his previously unseen muscular grandson gives me a hard look and I shriek, "I don't want no fucking trouble," before backpedaling into a mug root beer pyramid. There's a guy at work who takes a shit almost every morning, which I already don't like. Do that at home. But he comes out rubbing his belly and going, "Oof, bro, I don't need that glimpse into your gastrointestinal processes." Sometimes I imagine what a wonderful life I'd have if I had a huge penis. Even a normal sized penis would have been fine. But now so many people are gonna have to die. Everybody wants a transgressive, boundary challenging artist until he starts talking about sucking his cousin's dick. Here's a line of tweets here that has a common theme. Doing push-ups and shadowboxing on the sidewalk outside the battered woman's shelter. Screwball comedy where I go trans to pursue my girlfriend into the battered woman's shelter and shut her up once and for all. Telling my girlfriend the counselors at the battered woman's shelter are gaslighting her. Bringing my butterfly collection to show to the guys at work and chuckling to myself that this ought to put the gay weirdo accusations to rest once and for all.
Every time these weirdos try to say Walls is awkward, he's always being extremely and authentically nice, which is alien to conservatives.
You're single, huh? Did you write this out surrounded by your husband and happily playing children? Or seated atop a throne of blown out beef? I hate that thing women do when they're walking up a flight of stairs in the subway or somewhere and they kind of pull their dress down over their ass so you can't see anything. What difference does it make to you, you stuck up cunt? If you're that scared to be raped, why don't you just stay home? This is my most favorite tweet from him because I have an alternative version. If you're so afraid of being killed by the government for quote unquote being gay, why don't you just stop being gay, stop being trans? But no, it's not that simple. It is that simple. We overcomplicate shit way too much. Anyways, let's just continue. Going to a black church for the first time, being overawed by all the joyous singing and dancing, having the spirit descend on me and convulse and speak in tongues, only for it to end in an ear-splitting shout of the N-word and 150 hostile black faces turning to me in unison. Isn't this what happened to that guy, Dylan Roof? Self-defense situation. Blasting Return of the Mac on my portable speaker as I walk past the HR trailer, my first day back after I beat the sexual harassment allegations. She hanged herself. Texting my friend before the party if it's okay to play my rape playlist, which he assumes is a typo for rap, so he agrees. But when I get the speaker, it's just sounds of woman pleading and sobbing, and one of the guests miscarries. This specific tweet is extremely disgusting, so I hope you have aphantasia so you don't imagine what the fuck I'm gonna read right now. Getting down on one knee and proposing to the trans cutie I've been seeing for 6 months. Looking up and accidentally getting a full glimpse of her chemically wilted penis. Pointed at me in sardonic accusation like a wizard's withered finger. Trans woman is cleared of flashing her penis at Ohio YMCA after judge ruled she's too fat for her genitals to be visible, screaming transient visibility as I begin the laborious process of exposing myself. This is not a post from HowlingMutant, but this is just a quite amusing one, to say the least. I wish I had a rape coordinator. I need some pointers and some rape tips and tricks. You might want to reach out to HowlingMutant. I'll bet he could help you with that. He is an expert in the field. I recall that fateful day on September 11 when my dad burst in my room to tell me the towers had fallen and caught me in the middle of a violent drug session. Clearly, it'll never compare to the tragedy that took place that fateful day, but it wasn't a fucking picnic for me either. Hearing my nephew got molested and predicting exactly what type of troon he will be, like Babe Ruth calling his home run.
I looked down at center field and I pointed. I said, I'm going to hit the next pitch ball right past the flagpole. Well, good Lord, it must have been with me.
By the way, this man has an army of people who has worn his digital likeness as for themselves and donned his name scheme for themselves as well.
Хоть и мне лечь, все же человек, нужен человечек, всем девчонкам нужен. Скромных огонек не гасит, за каменностью мыть, сквозняникой не завертит, не бабочек живет, и сердечко рвет на части, подписала на него, всем на шибах, стопе счастья, всем девчонкам нужен. Скромных огонек не гасит, за каменностью мыть, сквозняникой не завертит, не бабочек живет, и сердечко рвет на части, подписала на него, всем на шибах, стопе счастья, всем девчонкам нужен. Вроде все окей, но все равно не то, то внутри все хэппи, то снова.
So then someone posted a clearly adult naked female and everybody jumped ship because they thought she was underage. And we all freaked out that the group chat was gonna die. I suppose it's only fitting that the mutant movement would end in a flurry of panicked child pornography accusations. On a more recent note, here's some context for this one post. There was this absolutely huge interview between Piers Morgan and Nick Fuentes, and this is one of the leading results of such interview.
Me mum died in the holly.
That's a picture of Piers Morgan's family, and that is specifically focused on his young daughter.
This is Piers Morgan's daughter, Elise Morgan. At Piers Morgan, can I get her number?
She only has a few good years left before she's expired. Better be quick, Piers Morgan. Absolutely disgusting and feral Groiper moment. I can't even be mad about this because the idea of him announcing, "Nah, Nick, let me handle this one. I'm a child molester," is so funny. I can't wait to be a stallion like Dad. Bro, we are in Tim Waltz's stomach. Big if true. This is posted by Donald Trump's son. They say we fucked a couch. We say they sucked off a horse. It seems you are all deeply ignorant to Muslim weddings. Here's me yesterday at the wedding. I'm not all covered up, and no one raised an eyebrow. Welcomed and looked after immensely. Perhaps make some friends outside your comfort zone. You may just learn something new. The bride looks gorgeous. Why cover her face?
Boom, boom. Hello, bow. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom.
I can't even describe how anxiety-inducing this behavior is, especially if you've gone through physical trauma in your life. Would it be legal to cheat on an abuser like this? I recognize so many of my own coping mechanisms for trauma in this girl's mannerisms. This is really upsetting to watch. I'm so sorry to hear that. Did your ex abuse you too? No, I abused her. But it bothers me.
You know shit is serious when a video has multiple angles.
Man gets beaten by fascist police for jacking off at the System of a Down concert. I know the guy was in the wrong, but sucker punching a guy mid-jerk still don't sit right with me. The problem that I ran into when covering this specific account is the fact that he has such quality posts in such great quantity. It's such a rare combination for a person like that to have both of these two things in great harmony. So I asked the man himself, HowlingMutant, how are you such a good poster? And he simply replied to me, I'm retarded. So as a sign of getting back on my horse and start posting the way that I have years ago, I said, thank you for this revelation. I will now become retarded. I've been too serious for too long. Now, what differentiates HowlingMutant from any other poster on the website of Twitter specifically? It's his prose. It's the way that he replicates the ability of the past poets of history to effectively paint an image into someone's mind so vividly through only just the art form of words on a screen. Since I am reviewing a poster, I have to give some form of a rating, so I will do the tier list. It's very obvious where I'm going to put him at. I'm going to put him at the very obvious S tier. The main things I take into consideration when reviewing a poster are the posts themselves and the aesthetics of the account. That's all I need to say. Thank you for watching this video.
What would life be like in sub-Saharan Africa in this alternate timeline? Would it be a utopian paradise free from the violence stirred by Europe? Or would it be a backwards, uncivilized place never improving? The answer is not so black and white, pun intended.